Eclipser, Eclipser, Full Mooner, Wheeler, Dealer, Feeler. Oh, I got the allergies again. Oh man. Allergenics down. Uh, yeah. Yeah. So did I like these Ukrainian Canadian Pasadenians of Houston, Texas? You know, yeah, I did like them a lot. Yeah. They're pretty their sons were a pretty creative crew. That's why we got along. Me and the creatives get along very well. So Jeff was always serious. I was always talented with the gift for gab. I was always, whimsical, I suppose. And then his brother was very silly, and so we had a great like middle school experience. And their sister was really hot, since she's a Ukrainian Canadian. She had those beautiful eyebrows and everything. Yeah, she was kind of like, whoa. I'm so glad his sister wasn't like my age, that I wasn't like trying to hit on her. I'm glad she was like 4 or 5 years older, because then shit would have got awkward probably pretty quick if I got a crush on her or some shit like that. Yeah, it probably would have been, like, oh shit, well, I don't want to piss off my friend and his brother by hitting on their sister. And then, like, maybe I would have got a crush and then did something silly. And then, like, she would have been like, oh, I'm looking for a guy with fucking a future. Go fuck yourself. And then I would have been like, ah. Maybe it would have ended disastrously, Maybe. But I'm saying I'm glad we're not this, like, similar age group or in the same classes or anything like that. I'm glad that Laura was like my older sister too, and I wasn't thinking too many inappropriate thoughts about her. So, there's nothing more painful than unrequited love, anyway. So, that's got to be the worst feeling, right? Rejection, like romantic rejection. Yeah, it's like you really like a girl, and then you build it up in your head, and really the problem is that you build women on a pedestal, and they're really not angelic creatures at all. They're just women are mechanical creatures, okay, that go after the most successful men, and it's ingrained in their genetic programming that they're not romantic about it. It's just, okay, who's got the stuff? Okay, I'm going with him. Boom. So it's pretty simple how women operate. It's, okay, who looks handsome? Who's got the stuff? Boom. That's my guy. It's not hard. Okay, who makes the most money? Who's the most terrifying? Who's the most alpha? Who's in charge? Who's running things? That's the guy I'm going to sleep with, and that's the guy I'm going to mate with. Time immemorial, pretty much. Nice guys finish last. It's a winner-take-all society. I know that might sound brutal to some, but it's been a winner-take-all society for a long, long time. And so, yeah. No child left behind? No, nice guys finish last. That's the reality. If you're a nice guy, you're simping for bitches, you're going to be left with your dick in your hand. It's just the way it is. The world's been like that for a long time. Now, where do guys get this idea that being romantic or being nice to women is going to get you anywhere? From their mothers, from their sisters, from TV, from fucking, right? From William Shakespeare, from poems and flowery art and shit. That's where guys get those romantic ideals. They're really a failure in the postmodern world. They don't work. Those kind of things. So if you're thinking you're going to pick up chicks by reading love sonnets from William Shakespeare, good luck. If you think you're going to read love sonnets from the 1500s from William Shakespeare, pick up chicks today in the year 2025, good motherfucking luck. Females respect authority, power, money, providing. That's what females always have respected. Leaders. That's who they want to fuck. That's who they want to mate with. They want to be part of the winning team, the aggressive team. Women love it. It might be a daddy complex or whatever, but it's still the same thing. Most women think this way. It's an instinct. They want to find out who's leading the tribe. Is it you? If it's not you, they're going to move on to the next guy. Classic example. All right. There's a Walmart. There's 5 guys. There's a smoking hot chick. She's may not even be that attractive, really. She could be a immigrant from Colombia or Venezuela or something. She doesn't have to look like Robin Wright from The Princess Bride. She doesn't have to look like Millie Joe Brown or whatever her name is. She doesn't have to look like Taylor Swift. She doesn't have to be some golden princess blonde. All right. But anyways, she's a young girl. She wants to have sex. She wants to mate. She doesn't need to find the right mate. Okay. So there's 5 guys at the Walmart. And all the guys are like, man, they're really trying for Nicole. You know, they want to fuck Nicole. They want to knock up Nicole. They want that to, you know, be their girlfriend or wife or whatever. So one guy they know has $2 million. The other guys don't have shit. They work at Walmart. They make $8 an hour. Who is Nicole going to choose? Bingo! The guy with the millions of dollars. Now, there might be a poor guy that's more handsome and stronger, but he can't provide anything. The guy with the $2 million can provide shit instantly. That's who she's going to go with. 9 times out of 10. It's called reality. I know it sucks. There it is. Yeah. Well, that was my psychology doctor was one of his PhDs was female mating rituals. Very interesting from Santa Barbara. So yeah, it was kind of funny because he did Dr. Bollier of psychology. He did his doctorate in I think it was it a major in psychology general, and then his minor was female mating habits, I think. And then so I'm no expert. I just took psychology 101. He told us, talked to him a lot of times, but went to like a psychology some campus seminars and things like that, but never really anyways, but I like the dude. Who's cool and very well educated, of course, from Santa Barbara. So the median house income of houses in Santa Barbara is $1 million. So it's like upper crust, right, in California. So they're very sad, him and his wife, when they would talk about the incident which happened with the incel Elliot Rogers in California. Yeah, I know they're pretty shook up about that because he attacked Santa Barbara. And I know that was a soap. I didn't really even know about Santa Barbara when I was a little kid. You know, growing up in Texas, it was like a soap opera. You know, Santa Barbara. It was like some shit my grandma would watch or some shit. Did something spill? Oh, okay. I'm scared. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. Thank you. Oh. You done a second cycle without. Come on, I already did it. Oh. Yeah, I feel that. Yeah, that's good. What up? What happened to what? Oh, remember the power went out last night. Yeah, the power went out. Last night at like 1 a.m. You were sleeping.
Maybe that might have been why one of the times I woke up.
Yeah. Yeah, the power went out. Everything went out at like 1:15.
Did it go off and come right back on?
Yeah.
Okay, that might have been what, maybe that's what woke me up one time.
Oh, okay. It was like 1:15.
Wow. Oh. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I didn't even know. Usually I know the power went out.
Oh, yeah. I expected you to come up, but I guess you were sleeping so good.
It must
You
have
didn't
woke
come
me
up.
up, but it must have woke me
Yeah.
up.
Usually, if the power went out, you'd say, "Oh," but this time it was silent, and I was like, "Oh, I guess you didn't notice."
Yeah, because I fell asleep until
Yeah.
like 12 or 12:30, and then I got up and peed and I went to sleep, and I must have fell off to a deep sleep. And if it just went off and came back on,
Yeah.
it was too fast for me to catch on. I guess I was dead to the world.
Yeah, I'm glad you don't worry about everything 24/7 when you go to sleep. Sometimes.
If I'm awake, I do, but if I'm not,
Yeah, yeah.
no. But I mean, very rarely.
Do you sleep through a power outage?
Oh, I never do,
Yeah.
except I was woke up like 2 or 3 different times, and I was wondering if it was the boom.
Oh, yeah.
Because when they're booming,
Yeah.
it goes down the wall.
Oh,
I
yeah.
hear boom, 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 boom.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Alright. Oh, yeah.
I never sleep through a power outage.
Yeah.
When my fan goes off, I wake up.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so, so it was an incel, involuntary celibate. So that means a guy who never had a chance to get some pussy or something. But it's kind of weird because, so involuntary celibate is that you have no chance with the opposite sex, right? That means involuntary celibate, that females never choose you or think about you. That means you're an outcast. You're nothing. Right? That's what it means. You're not going to have a next generation. You're not ever going to raise your own children. You're never going to become a father because you're an outcast. Now, maybe that's not also, they call it involuntary celibate, but maybe there's voluntary celibates too. So, on the other hand, maybe there's also people that just don't give a fuck. Okay, let's okay. So let's also, it's kind of putting people into categories is kind of fraught with problems. Is then you have to stereotype people. So you have to say like, oh well, this guy's a loser, so lives in his grandma's basement, and so you got to stereotype. So you got to say, oh okay, this guy's a Sigma, because he's kind of macho, but he's kind of smart, but he's kind of also beta, but he's Sigma. Oh, this guy's alpha. He's trying to run everything. Oh, he's real aggressive. This guy's alpha. Like the alpha never has tender moments or something. All right. Or so you have a beta, where the beta always backs down. The beta always simps. The beta is a fucking incel. The beta never gets what he wants. He always pussies out. He doesn't have the balls to go after what he really dreams of, what he really wants in his life. So the beta, just stereotyping people. Like Asians are always good at math. It's kind of stupid, right? Because now sometimes stereotypes work. All right. But a lot of times the stereotypes, the labels don't work. They're not really specific to each person. So, labels are just convenient. It's just kind of like, what's like stereotypes? Asians are good at math. That's a great example. Asians are good at math. But I've been to school where there's Asians that don't give a fuck. They just smoke weed and gangbang and do drugs. And they don't do shit. They're not all like what do you think of an Asian stereotype? What do you think about the guy like getting 105 in calculus 3, like the guy, my friend from Hong Kong and China? You think all Asians are overachieving Chinese valedictorians that have high academics in STEM subjects, science, technology, engineering, and math, and they all get high marks and they all work hard and they're all disciplined and they all give a fuck and they're all serious? That's not true. Okay, not all of them. Now, it is true that the Chinese and the Asian systems of education are pretty hardcore. And Japan, according to Google, has the highest IQ of any country in the world. But do they dominate the world? Not really. Are they really running the earth? Or are Japanese people running the earth? They're doing pretty well for themselves, from an island. They're doing pretty well. They're not ranked 40th in education. But they're not running the planet. They're not running the solar system. They're not running the Milky Way galaxy. You know what I mean? So it's cool that you have the highest median IQ, but it ain't worth shit if you're not creative. Wah, wah. So Asians might be stereotypically known for being disciplined or hardworking or good at math, stereotypically speaking anyway, but they're not really known for being super innovative, creative, out of the box. Yeah. So, on the other hand, they're not known for being risk takers, for really laying it down on the line, but really taking creative risk. It takes balls. And you got to be willing to break structure and discipline to do that. To push the envelope, you got to be willing to set the envelope on fire. Now, could the United States and Europe compete with the IQs of Asia and China? Yes, it would be very simple, but it would just require rigorous education. We'd have to have our children math and science every day for an extra 2 or 3 hours. Boom. All that would be solved. But children would have to spend inordinate amounts of time in school. That's all it would take. So the regular day in right Western education is what? Children go to school 7 to 2, 8 hour day. Oh, the easiest way to compete with Japan or China, send them there to fucking 12 hours, 10, 12 hours. Have their ass in school all fucking day until it's time to come home and eat. Then you have a really, yeah. No motherfucker will eat that shit without knowing math and knowing computers and science and being literate. Everybody would fucking know. Yeah. Yeah. But it would cost a lot, and the children would be, understandably pissed. But, so Elliot Rodger was an incel, but he wasn't a poor incel. So what was interesting about Elliot Rodgers is that his father was a successful documentary filmmaker from England. His mother was a Filipino. So he was from Santa Barbara, California, one of the wealthiest cities in California. They even made a soap opera out of it. Santa Barbara. Yeah. But you think this wealth and opulence and educational and other such opportunities to get nice vehicles, nice clothes, and to attend Ivy League and other schools would make Elliot Rodgers happy? Well, there was a problem. What was the problem? He had Asperger's disorder. Asperger's is a disorder where, so it wasn't normal, in other words, or normal-ish, if you want to call it. I'm sure there's plenty of functioning Asperger's people out there, people with Aspie, that function just fine in society. Maybe they even excel, perhaps. But unfortunately, Elliot Rodgers did not. He had an obsession. He needed to find a girl or the world was going to suffer. And the more he got rejected by girls, now, typically if you're rejected by women, if you're a male, you would just say, well, I guess there's something wrong with me. And you try to work on that, or at least try. And so the idea is that you failed multiple times, and the idea is that you're going to work on it. You're going to try harder. Right, okay. So that's called self-improvement realization. So if you do fail and make mistakes, then the idea is that you work on those mistakes and you don't blame the world for your mistakes. You don't blame Mark Zuckerberg because you don't have $500 billion like he does or whatever, $200 billion. You say, well, maybe there's a problem why I don't have $200 billion. Maybe it's me. So you don't blame yourself for not being Mark Zuckerberg. What you do is you say, you know what? If you wanted to be like somebody, you would try to work towards those attributes. You wouldn't blame the world and want violent revenge on the world just because you can obtain something, right, that you desire. Okay, so the idea is self-improvement and learning. So that's the idea. The problem with Asperger's, they get locked in and they can't get out. So that could be true of savants like me. That can be true of autistic people in general. You get obsessed with a certain problem, you get locked in. And it's like, you get so locked in. So somebody's trying to reach extraterrestrials. They can't find extraterrestrials. They struggle their whole life trying to obtain extraterrestrials because they're autistic or they're savant or they have Asperger's disorder or something. So they get obsessed with the ideal. And they can't let go of the ideal to give way to some form of constructive reality. So that's an issue from a mental health perspective. So somebody wants to create quantum teleportation or faster than light travel. They get obsessed with the idea, and they, work their ass off to try to achieve that ideal. And maybe some of them crack and some of them don't, but they just keep trying, to solve the problem, to get the solution, because they're obsessive, in their thinking. They can't let go. And that's like a part of a component. Savantism, maybe not so much. Maybe somebody could, let go of it. But Asperger's disorder, like Elliot Rogers, they get locked in and they can't get out. They can't ever get out until it's too late. So that's what happened to Elliot Rogers. He got locked in, fixated. Oh, girls will never love me. And then he went on it, unfortunately. What I've noticed about the Asperger's individuals a lot of times is that they can't assume the feelings or positions of other people. They can only articulate what they desire and what their obsessions are. So what I've noticed about the Asperger's individuals like Elliot Rogers is that they continuously have to, if there's somebody into like motorcycles, they want to talk about motorcycles all the time. If it's Elliot Rogers, he wants to talk about girls all the time. Oh, I can't get girls. Oh, the girls reject me. Or another Asperger's person, another Asperger says, oh man, I want to listen to music all the time. Music. But they don't have any kind of multi-dimensional facets to their life where they can understand life in a multitude of dimensions and perspectives and kind of take it in from all those different viewpoints. They have issues. They have problems seeing the world in a complex, multi-dimensional apparatus. They just can't see it. And I understand obsessive compulsive disorder. I've seen people in my family. I've seen people just work it out with people. Sometimes I'm at work with a lady at work and she keeps arranging the pots, and I'm like, "What are you doing?" And the workers are like, "We got to get on, line 3 or do whatever." And she's like, "Oh, now I gotta organize now this." And she's like, "Oh, I gotta organize all this shit, or I can't fucking go." I'm like, God. You need to let that shit. Usually it's women do it. I mean, I'm not saying there can't be a man that's anal retentive that has obsessive OCD too, like Howie Mandel. Man, that shit gets whack. It's like, I understand organization. That's fine. I'm not anti-organization. I'm not anarchist. I'm not anti-order. No way. Order is beautiful. Order is a reprieve from chaos. It means peace. But some of these people are taking it too far because they have clinical psychological disorders, which are preventing them from seeing life in its true perspective, which is a multi-dimensional wonderland, a beautiful kaleidoscopic journey. They're not able to see it that way, unfortunately. I wish I could show them what I see, what I think life is. I wish I could share with them that it's a kaleidoscopic, multi-dimensional, multifaceted, beautiful thing. And it's complex and it's complicated, but wonderfully so. And I wish I could, tell them. I wish I could share my mind and show them what I think it is. But that's just my particular